Friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Stephanie, and I've been an online reseller since 2002, and this is my non-stuffed animal Nova. And in today's video, we're talking to you all about plush. In this video, I'm going to show you my best plush sales from the months of August and September of 2021. And these sales are going to go from $25 all the way up to $125. Okay, now why do some plush sell for such high dollars? Well, I think it comes down to three different things. Number one is nostalgia. A lot of people are replacing stuffed animals that they had as kids, and they want their children to have it, or they want it for themselves for their own collection, or maybe it's something that they did want as a kid and they never got it, so now's their chance to buy it now that they have their own money. And number two is collectors. Some people collect a certain brand or style of toys, like some people will collect just Winnie the Pooh toys or gun toys or something like that. And number three are people that are replacing stuffed animals or loveys that their kids have brought somewhere and they have lost it. And now mom and dad will do whatever it takes to get little Linus's favorite stuffed animal or lovey back.
Well, Linus, you've gone without your blanket for a whole week. Never last another week. I have hot and cold flashes. My eyes won't focus. I gotta have that blanket. I'm cracking up and nobody cares. Nobody. I gotta get that blanket.
Okay, and let's go ahead and get started. Now, typically on plush, I pay anywhere from $1 to $2, so I'm not gonna go over my cost for each of these items. And that's typically the case with plush. That's the great thing about them. There's a very low cost to entry on selling these items if you find the right ones. Very, very rarely do I pay more than $5 for a stuffed animal. Okay, and my first one is actually from Winnie the Pooh. Now, typically, you're gonna find that common characters like Pooh, Tigger, Mickey are really not gonna be that valuable. But the ones that could be valuable are those that are dressed differently or in a different colorway. For example, I sold this Disney Winnie the Pooh Halloween stuffed animal. So this would be good for Halloween or decoration, something like that. And this one sold for $25. Okay, and up next is this Biscuit the Little Yellow Puppy plush. And this was a very small stuffed animal, and it was made by Kids Preferred. This is a character from a kid's book from Biscuit the Little Yellow Puppy, just like it says. And this one sold for $25. So look up characters from kids' books, especially obscure characters that you're not going to really find a whole lot of plush out there of. Okay, and the first lovey that I'm going to share with you is this Bright Starts Taggy's Lion Lovey. This one sold for $25. Now, if you haven't sold loveys before, they're typically about 12 to 15 inches square with some kind of creepy little animal head that's sewn on top, and kids just love these. Now, what happens with these is mom or dad will get these for their baby shower, and then the baby won't really start carrying it around until they're like 1 or 2 years old. Well, by that time, these loveys have been discontinued. So when little Johnny loses his plush baby here, what's mom and dad gonna do? Well, they're gonna go on eBay and they're gonna pay whatever it takes to get that particular lovey back. Now, this one sold for $25. I have some later in this video that sold for about $100, so stay tuned. Okay, up next is this Fisher-Price Backyardigans Huggable Pablo from the Nick Jr. Show. Now, this is what I would call kind of maybe an obscure character, only because this show isn't on TV anymore. It's not a current show anymore. So parents can't go into Target and go find these stuffed animals. They have to go onto eBay and Mercari, places like that, third-party marketplaces, to find a plush that the little kid would like. Now, this one sold for $25. He did have some dye transfer on his belly here, so I marked him down a little bit more, and he sold pretty immediately. Okay, up next, another $25 sale is this Pokemon plush. Now, I don't know the names of any Pokemon characters, but what you can do is use Google Lens and take a picture of it, and it should tell you what the name of the character is. Now, Pokemon plush are made by many different companies. This one was made by Pokemon Center. I've also seen some made by Tommy, or T-O-M-Y, Tommy, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. And brand and year that these are made really does affect the value. All right, and the super popular plush to collect right now is the Squishmallows. These are kind of like the Beanie Babies of the current time right now, and you know, I can just see this pretty much in the future. People are probably gonna be investing so much money in these, just like they did Beanie Babies back in the 90s. I hope no one's investing their college fund into these.
I figured in 10 years, they'd be a good college fund for you guys. Each one had your own collection, which so far has never taken place because I guess lost a lot of money.
But right now, these are a lot of fun. These values can go all the way from $5 all the way up into the hundreds, so you really have to look up to see which one you have. So this one is a Penelope Red Panda stuffed animal that I sold for $27. Now mine did have a flaw on it, so I marked it down just a little bit. And same thing, if you don't know the names of these characters, you can look it up with Google Lens. You can also type in just like what it is. I can tell this is a panda and it was made in 2017, like this tag says right here, and it was pretty easy to find out the name. Okay, and for $30, I sold this Tie Beanie Buddy plush. Okay, now this is a buddy, not a baby. I do not sell Beanie Babies at all, just because those are so hard to comp. A lot of Beanie Babies with the high prices, that's money laundering. So I don't even bother with Beanie Babies, but I do sell Beanie Buddies and Pluffies. Now the Buddies are the larger size plush, and they look just like a regular stuffed animal. And you can see how big this one is. He's the size of a regular stuffed animal, about 12 to 15 inches. And this one did have his name tag on it. And even though he had the tag, I did not mark this one as new. I marked this one as good condition because, you know, you can tell he's been loved a little bit just by his tag here. And this one sold for $30, just for a plain brown bear. Okay, this is a super teeny tiny little stuffed animal. This is a Gans Wee Bears. So it's like a little bear, and he has this little dog costume on. Super adorable, and you can see how tiny he is. It's just about 6 inches tall. And I couldn't find any others of this exact wee bear listed or had sold. So what I did is I priced it to the highest that these other wee bears have sold. And if you don't know how to price, go back to my last video. I have a whole video on how I price when I can't find comps for an exact item. Okay, for $30, I sold this Build-A-Bear Black Panther plush. Now, Build-A-Bear plushes, I always look up, because some of them can be worth really big money depending on the character that they are and if they're discontinued or not. Now, some are more common than others, so they really run the gamut from being worth $5 all the way up to $200-300, some of them into the thousands. So always look up Build-A-Bears. And another one for $30 is this vintage SeaWorld Polar Bear plush. This one still had the tag. He looked brand new, pristine condition. Someone was probably replacing their little lost plush that they had, and this one was super cute and great find. Okay, up next I have this Kohl's Cares Owl Lovey that I sold for $35. Now this one did not have his tag on it, but I was able just to do a simple search, gray owl lovey, and it popped right up. Super simple. And Kohl's Cares plush in general is not really worth anything. This is the first time I've ever seen a lovey by Kohl's Cares. So I don't know if there's other ones out there with different characters or different styles. But I look up any lovey anytime I see it, because with those, the brand just does not matter, because the kid has it, they lost it and dropped it, and that's the end of it. It can be a brand that came from Walmart, or it can be a brand that came from like a boutique or something like that. It really doesn't matter. They can be worth $25 all the way up to hundreds of dollars. Okay, another Squishmallow is this Chuck E. Cheese one that I sold for $35. Now this ticked 2 different boxes. It hit the nostalgia box for people that probably went to Chuck E. Cheese when they're kids, and you know, I know Chuck E. Cheese is still opened in some parts of the country, but I haven't been to one in a long time because the last time I was there it was pretty nasty, boogery games, nothing I wanted to do with my kids, but hey, some people still have the nostalgia for it. Plus this is a Squishmallow, which is really hot right now, so this one sold for $35. Okay, and this is another lovey. This is a Carter's Just One You Fox lovey, and it sold for $35. I've sold this exact one before, so he's definitely out there, and people are looking for him because he always sells quick for me. And by always, I mean the 2 times I found him. Okay, and here's a perfect example where brand does not matter. This is a Walmart stuffed animal that sold for $40. Now, the reason I looked this one up because it's a lovable and squishable plush. So if the brand is not there, look to see if the lovability is there. Do you see a little kid carrying this around everywhere they go? If the answer is yes, just go ahead and look it up. Okay, and this Starry Manhattan Toy Company bear sold for $40. Manhattan Toy Company is another brand that I've done very, very well on before in the past. I've sold a stuffed goat for $100 and many other of this brand. I think they're sold at Target and I'm not sure where else. And this is another one where the kid probably lost it, I found it, and I was happy to sell it to this person for $40. Kid, I'd never heard of this brand before, but I could tell when I picked it up that it was a quality stuffed animal. This is the T. Rose Peter Panda stuffed animal, and this one sold for $40, and easy to look up, just the name on the little tush tag there. That's all I needed. And he was an unusual color. It's kind of like this reddish colored panda. And he was super cute. So look up obscure animals or stuffed animals that just seem like they're good quality. These stuffed animals make me laugh. These are their droopy eyes. This is me after I've had a single margarita. I'm a lightweight. And this is from the movie Beethoven's Second. This is Beethoven and I think his girlfriend Missy. And these sold for $40 for the pair. Now, if you have stuffed animals that maybe aren't worth a whole lot on their own, think about lotting them up. So like, for example, going back to that Pokemon plush, a lot of Pokemon plush aren't worth a whole lot. So if you find a couple of them, maybe lot them together. If you have a lot of Snoopy plush, maybe lot them together. And then that saves the buyer on their shipping costs, and it also kind of gives them an instant collection. Okay, and this one is so cute. This is a vintage Simba from the Lion King stuffed animal. Now, when my brothers were little, probably, I don't know, about 9 or 10 years old or something like that, whenever the Lion King came out, they had the Lion King soundtrack, and in their room, they would blast it on cassette. So every morning, they would wake up to the tune of the Lion King soundtrack. Now, just imagine hearing that every single morning as a kid, waking up for, I don't know how long. 2 or 3 years? Maybe that's an exaggeration, I don't know. But that's what I thought of when I saw this stuffed animal. This one is from 1993. Now, he wasn't in the greatest condition. He was well loved, and the little tufts of fur on the top of his head and the tips of his tail were kind of matted and melted, and of course I disclose that in the description. So that happens when people put their stuffed animals in the dryer and dry it on like a higher heat. These tufts of fur are sometimes made of like a plastic fiber and they get melted in the dryer. So if you're washing your stuffed animals, be sure to not put them on any kind of high heat. Do it on air fluff or very low heat only if air fluff isn't doing it for you. Anyways, so look up vintage Lion King plushes. Now, I haven't found that the current ones really sell for a whole lot, but the vintage ones from when the movie first came out are the ones that are valuable. Okay, now this is kind of a common character. This is Eeyore plush, but what made him valuable was this is a Gund plush. So some people just collect the Gund brand. Some people only want the more high quality stuffed animals. Then this one sold for $47. Now, from my brother's favorite movie to my favorite movie, that was 101 Dalmatians. I loved this movie so much. I had the entire thing memorized. My parents can tell you it drove them crazy. I had a Dalmatians themed room complete with the border on the wall and the comforter and everything. So I was really excited to see this. So this is Perdita, and I'm actually kind of surprised she didn't sell sooner and in a different month than she did, because the Cruella movie came out and they, for some reason, did not come out with any Dalmatian plush. Now, I know the movie was about Dalmatians, but, you know, Dalmatians were in that movie. Anyways, this one sold for $47. And this was a Disney Store plush, which the Disney Store ones do better than just the Disney brand, because they are a little bit better for quality. Okay, up next, another one for $47 is this Hallmark Sweet Hugs teddy bear. Now, I always look up Hallmark. A lot of the times they're worth very good money because these things come out usually around a season. So this one probably came out around Valentine's Day, and after a few months it was discontinued and never to be seen again. So if somebody wanted it, where do they go? Once again, they're gonna find it from us, the plush sellers online. And this was a pretty good sized one. His arms were longer, so it could, you know, possibly hug around a small child. Okay, for $50, I sold this Cloud Bee Tranquil Sea Turtle. Now there's many different versions of these nightlight style turtles, ladybugs, different kinds of animals where basically the shells will light up. Some of them have, you know, cutouts on the shells instead of just being projected through. So always look them up. There's different brands, Cloud Bee, VTech, I'm not sure, but there's several other brands. The Cloud Bee ones have done the best for me though. And this particular one is really hard to find. That's why it's sold for such a good price. And this is another gunned stuffed animal from their baby line. Now this one I could not find a comp for, so I priced it a little bit higher. I think I had it around 75 or 100, and I had it for about 6 months to a year, something like that. So I took a best offer on this for $50, which is still fantastic for this little flat hippo plush. Okay, now we're getting to some of the more exciting sales. This one's an Aiden and Anae cow, giraffe, Musi-Mate, Lovey, and the matching swaddle. This one sold for $90 for these, what I would call fancy rags. A lot of people love these. They are a good brand. They're sold all over. Now this one here did have some issues, as you can see. He's got some stray strands on his face here, and there were some different poles on him, but $90 for the set was just incredible. Okay, another Aiden and Anae is this giraffe Lovey that sold for $100. Now I did put the term cow in here also because that was also a keyword that I saw in other listings. So some people might have thought this looks like a cow, which it kind of does, even though it has the giraffe print. But $100 for this Lovey, this little rag. Okay, and another $100 sale is this Fisher Price Soothe and Glow Bunny Rabbit Plush. Now this one, it sold overnight. I couldn't believe it. I found this at a kids consignment sale and it sold so super fast. These Soothe and Glows, they come in many different characters. I've seen monkeys and seahorses, and this is the most that I've ever sold the Soothe and Glow plush for. And that was because this is extremely rare. I could not find this animal anywhere. This was sold many years ago. There weren't any comps for it on eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, nothing. It didn't exist. Okay, for $110, I sold this Thai Shadow kitty cat. This one looks like our cat that's named Sassy, actually. And this one was in pristine condition. It looked absolutely brand new. So I held out for quite a while to get this price. And as you can see, I had it marked for $150 originally, and I did take a best offer for $110, which is, if you look on the eBay Terapeak, that is the most that this stuffed animal has ever sold for. And this one did sell on Mercari, so it's not going to show up on Terapeak, but that's why I was willing to take the lower offer, because I was still getting heads and tails above what everybody else had got for in the past on this. Okay, and my final plush that I'm sharing with you is this Chosen Hearts to Heart Baby Bear. And this one is pink. This is a very rare color combination. Has the pink bear and the pink pajamas. This one sold for $125. Now, mine did not have the heart. There's supposed to be this big plastic red heart that goes inside of the bear to make like a heartbeat sound. And if I would have had that, it would have been worth way more than this, believe it or not. But there's different colors of these, different color combinations. It comes in like an ivory color and a blue color. And look them up if you see them. They're going to be worth something no matter which color you get. Okay, and that's all for this video. I hope you've learned something. If you're not already picking up plush, I hope I've inspired you to do so, and I've given you some ideas on what to pick up. If you like this video, please give it a great big thumbs up. If you're not already, please subscribe to my channel. There's more great reselling content coming your way, and we'll see you next time. Bye!